But this is the thing. I genuinely believe Jake's going through quite a hard time, like in his own mind right now.
Agree.
I feel like I see the look in his eye. He's not quite feeling it. He's not confident. I think he's concerned that he doesn't know what he wants to make. He's having a bit of a Weller situation. What do I make? What do I actually enjoy making? And maybe he doesn't really feel connected to his audience as well, because he was obviously he's played this villain character for so long that he hasn't actually, I think, got like a loyal fan base that he feels connected to.
I feel like, well, first of all, you heard Logan talk about how Jake was like being down, and he used the word depressed at the ranch and stuff.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And then also, I feel like Jake's seen what Logan's doing and how he's managed to turn his vlogs around by being himself and thriving. And now he's trying to do that because, let's face it, his like everyday bro shit, that wasn't him. That was obviously a persona. Now he's trying to be himself. He's smoking weed on camera. He's doing all this shit like YouTubers don't necessarily do, which fair enough. If that's himself, fine. But it's not coming across right. He's trying to do that 5-minute short vlog style. He's just copying rather than trying to find what he actually is invested in. Yeah,
so like I watched his new video that he put out yesterday, and it is, even from like the little title sequence bit where it's like Jake Paul vlogs, like that's just taken from Logan, and the whole format is just copying Logan's style, and I feel like fans and viewers will kind of be able to see that. I actually feel like, mate, what that kid needs to do is do a video down the lens where he's actually 100% open and honest.
Do you think that's
about how he's felt about? I think it's so hard for him.
Yeah.
Because he has built up this feeling of how he needs to be and doesn't want to show any weakness. But only through like opening up will he, I feel, be able to release that tension and move on to the next step.
I would argue that I think he doesn't actually know how to be himself on camera at the moment.
I know. Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny because, like, the new video I'm sort of like, we spoke about it at the beginning that I'm putting out, that's almost how I feel. It's like I don't feel like I know who I am on camera in a jokes sort of funny way until I get this sort of like authentic, how I'm truly feeling out, so I can, and then reconnect with my audience and then build on that. But I feel like Jake almost needs that. We haven't really, since the Anderson Gibb fight, like we haven't really, he sort of went away for a bit, and now he's sort of just doing vlogs again, even though he slated the idea of doing YouTube, saying he doesn't want to do YouTube anymore. And he's moving on. So it's like, right, and now you're just coming back to doing vlogs since you've seen that your brother's doing well at it. So I think, you just need to see him like open up, talk about, if he's been depressed, mate, talk about it.
Yeah.
Fucking talk about it. Talk about if you feel like you've lost it, or you feel like you're not quite hitting the mark with how you feel on camera. Talk about it, because I feel like it's that will reconnect you with your audience and maybe give you a bit more clarity of who you're talking to and what you're doing.
I think the reason I'm
literally describing the reason why I made my video. But anyway, carry on.
I think the reason why Jake gets so much hate is because he's so clearly faking his shit and being not himself. And I think if he does open up and explain who he is and just talk to the lens and talk to the people about what's going on in his life, people would respect that. Yes, he'd definitely get some hate from it, but I think the majority of people would be like, oh, this is who he actually is, this is why he acts the way he is. Like, the kid's got 5 lawsuits happening to him still.
So Joe, you're the only person who's actually like spoken to Jake Paul in a private setting, off camera, where it is literally 2 people in a room. Do you, like, when you had that conversation, was he actually any different to what we see on camera?
100%. Like, that's the thing. For me, it's so
what were those differences?
Yeah, for me, it's so blatant to see. Off camera, he is a human like the rest of us, in that he can have a conversation, he can ask you how you're doing, he can like talk normally. I think the difference is, on camera, he has built up this narrative in his head that the whole world is against him and that he needs to protect himself literally at all times. So a lot of things. So say, for example, when me and him did that video where, I confronted him about him uploading his sparring video of us before mine, and he instantly shut down, boom, I'm in fight mode. This guy's attacking me. He's against me. When really, if you think about it, even though it was a little bit out of nowhere, I was just asking a question. And all he really had to do in that is say, hold my hands up and go, look, mate, I wanted to get more views. I wanted to get my video out first and basically take it. And that's realistically, I know that. I just want to hear it from him. I want to see a little bit of humility and say, yeah, like, I'll be honest, that's what I was doing. But I guess, that's
even though you had this conversation with him off camera and stuff, I still feel like you didn't meet the real him. Because I feel like at that time he probably had people around him who were the wrong crowd or who he didn't necessarily trust, so he still had to perform in front of them. Whereas I feel like only Logan or his dad or his family could actually see the real him.
But saying that, mate, you could say that about any human being on the planet. Probably someone's mum is the only person or mum and dad probably know them truly, that sort of idea. But talking to him off camera after that sort of confrontation on camera isn't the only time that I've seen him off camera.
Yeah.
Like, obviously in Miami, like he was doing his photo shoot, and this was the first time that I'd seen him since our confrontation. I just walked straight up to him and went, "You're right, mate, how you doing?" Because, like, not to try and be hard or whatever, but just to be like, look, mate, I'm big enough to, we've had this confrontation, but I'm going to come over and just be like, "You're right, how you doing?" And sort of squash it. And you could tell that, like, at first, I remember it's sort of when I walked in the room, maybe his team and all that were like, "Oh shit, how's this going to go?" But when I was safe with him, he responded and he was safe back. He was like, "Yeah, man, like, I'm tired as fuck. Like, I'm depleted as fuck. Like, I'm ready to fight, ready to win, but it's been hard. Like, I'm feeling it big time." And like that, that's what you'd expect from like a more human type response, to admit if you're not feeling 100%. Whereas on camera, I feel like maybe he needs to come across like he's okay all the time. And I feel like a lot of people are like that. Like, even like a lot of celebrities feel like showing when they're not feeling great is a weakness.
Yeah. Like,
that's something that I wish Anthony Joshua would do more of, right? I see, like, he has this thing of, "Oh yeah, I'm a champion. I show that I'm a champion." And I feel like he thinks if he ever shows that mentally he's struggling, it's showing his rivals that he's weak. Like, genuinely, and I think a lot of people view it like that. That if you make yourself vulnerable emotionally, that you are weak. And I don't like it. I don't like that personally. I like it. I vibe with people best when they're just like, whether they're good, shit, whatever.
Be authentic.
They're just real and authentic. And that's the person that obviously I'm striving to be.
I think that's maybe why you like Mike so much as well.
Like the Mike. Oh, Mike. Yeah. No, yeah. Obviously, I love Mike Malak, mate. I fucking do. I love Mike Malak.
The first thing you said to us, like, "Boys," he replied, and I was gassed.
He replied to my DM, and I was fucking gassed.
I think it's because you connect with him on a real level. That's why.
Yeah. Obviously, Mike Malak is the co-host of for Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast, and he's been through a lot. He was a drug addict. He, depression, anxiety, the lot, and the way he talks so openly and expressively and just brutally honestly about these different topics, for me, is so inspirational. He doesn't give a shit. Like, he gets some hate about, "Oh, you talk about yourself a lot. Oh, you're whatever. You're loud. You moan," but he is himself.
And also,
he reps. He is. Yeah.
Yeah, he owns himself as well. And you've also got to remember, he is going out with an ex-porn star, and to own that and not care what anyone else thinks and says is actually quite admirable. Because imagine your girlfriend's an ex-porn star. Think how much shit you are going to get and how many DMs she's going to get. Like, that is going to be hard. And the fact that
I think, like, the fact that what he's gone through in his life enables him to have a different perspective to the average human being on that sort of concept. So that's why, he's seen a lot worse and more outrageous and things that people can judge way more than dating a girl that was a porn star, like, at the end of the day. And I think, like, all of these experiences, and this is what he said when he was doing a podcast with Bradley Martin. Bradley Martin said to him, Like, mate, it's the fact that talking about all those like hardships that you've had, like getting over the drug addiction and the mental health stuff, it's that actually connects you to people. Like, yeah, you're funny and but the stuff that really is reaching out to people is where you open up about your struggles.
Yeah.
And I feel that. And the funny thing is I see people write that to me, and I'm like, yeah, like to some people, I may be what Mike Malak has been to me in recent times, if that makes sense, like that, and how gassed I got when he replied and stuff like that. So, but I really, basically overall, I really rate what he does. I think he's sick.